G'day guys, Sam here from Recon Australian Adventures. In this episode I'm going to be doing a mod to the Hilux, which in all honesty, it needs it bad. And the main reason why I'm going to be doing this mod is, for one, it's incredibly safe. It's going to make the ute way safer at night for driving. And not only that, it's just better because I just need to upgrade everything, because what's on it now is just outdated. It's dangerous to drive at night. I'll show you why that is later on. But these are what I'm going to be installing. So instead of using the old globe lights, I'm pretty sure that's what they're called, I actually bought some LED lights from eBay, and these ones are pretty cheap. I got two of these for $57. Again, the whole process of the 950 Hilux is you don't have to buy a ridiculous amount of gear to have a good time and make your ute reliable. But at the same time, I'm also going to be upgrading the blinkers, because the ones that are on the bull bar, they work, but they don't fit exactly perfectly. And to be quite frank with you, they look a little bit dicky, so I'm going to be replacing them with these ones. These are just trailer lights for the blinkers, so they should work out pretty well. They look pretty good. And then these ones here cost, I think they were $35 for two, and they fit really good as well. And there's the cat trying to eat everything. Okay, he's going to be helping me do the install. Righto, let's go for a drive and I'll show you guys why I'm going to be upgrading the lights. Now, it is pretty pitch black outside, which is perfect because you guys are going to be able to see what the stock lights are. Now, these lights are the ones that came with the car back in 1997. And believe me, if I blare these into my neighbour's windows, they're going to think it's a lamp, in all honesty. So, this is what they look like. Guys, ready for this amazing light? Yeah, you can't even see anything. So as you walk out to the front, it is still noticeable, don't get me wrong, but they're just... That's why I'm going to be upgrading the LED lights to these globe ones, or whatever they are. I've already upgraded the side ones here, just with little bulbs. They cost like $10 from Autobarn, so they were great. But I'm going to give you guys an idea of what it actually looks like out on the road, because at high beam, I've got an LED light, but the problem that I'm having is that when it's in low beam, you can't see anything, especially if there's another vehicle coming right on into you and they've got better lights, so they're LED or even just white globes. So let's go for a cruise and see what it looks like. See, now as you can see, these lights are on, but to be quite frank with you, you wouldn't even know because you actually have all the street lights in town. So if you are thinking about buying an older vehicle that's already got old headlights, they're not a deal breaker, they're just something that you can improve later on. See, even right now, you can barely see anything, but we're going to give you guys some shots of what it's actually like on the highway when another vehicle is coming up against you.
You actually can't see anything at all first.
I know, that's what I mean. So at the moment, we're just driving through town to go out onto the highway, but we've got our lights on, but we can barely even see that our lights are on with all the street lights. It becomes more noticeable on how bad these lights actually are when you're on the highway and you have to have low beam on. Because when we have high beam on, I've got a small LED light bar at the front, so high beam isn't a problem, it's just when another vehicle is coming against you, and you'll see that real soon. So at the moment, there's no street lights, and this is just low beam. And you can see, we can only just see street lights, like they're not great at all. And now if we put high beam on, because we have a light bar, we can actually see properly. So right now we're at low beam and there's a car coming towards us, and even although that our lights are so dim, because their lights, they've got actually proper white lights, it sort of blares in your face and you can't concentrate on that yellow beam. And then once they're gone, again, if there's another car coming towards us, we can't actually see that much because, yeah, they're just not that good, not as good as they could be. So again, if a car's coming up over the hill or a crescent and we have to go in low beam with our lights, we can barely see bugger all. And it's even harder for people to actually see us on the road as well. So that's another reason why I want to do this mod. Now, one of the other reasons why I want to do this mod as well, just for the simple fact that it's a good look. I'm not a real big fan of the hollow yellow beam sort of thing, unless if it's for lighting for camping to keep the bugs away, but when you need headlights, you want to see what's out there. You want to see if a kangaroo's to the side, just so that you're not pissing everybody off if you have to have like an LED light on 24/7. So hopefully they look pretty good, and this is what these look like up close. So what they've got a plastic cover, which in all honesty I'd rather have this because I think it's a little bit more durable than glass, just in case if it gets chipped. And it's just like every other light that you can buy. It's got an aluminium housing, it's got all your fins for getting the heat out of the light if it gets too hot. It's even got a little breather hole so that moisture never builds up into it. And these blinkers, these are just your generic trailer blinkers, nothing too fancy. They are LEDs, so they're there just to look good. So once these go on, they fit in pretty nice, and I'll show you guys what the blinkers look like right now with globes, because they're alright, they do the job, but they don't look great. I'll show you why. So as you guys can see, these are the old blinkers. Now, they're not too bad. They're very, very old. They don't actually fit into the bull bar correctly. I don't know why, but here's the kicker. This next one doesn't even line up with where it's supposed to be. Like, it's already got a crack in it. There's a screw just in the side here randomly, and I can fit 2 full fingers in there. It's just a big gaping hole. So that's why we're going to be chucking on the new blinkers first, and then we'll jump onto the lights. Righto. That actually wasn't too hard. When you're doing lights like this, for an old Hilux or anything like that, if it's globe, you have to buy these adapters, and those adapters are called a polarity converter negative switch harness adapter for H4. So if you are planning on doing these lights, believe me, you do need those harnesses. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. I had one of my mates up here to give us a quick hand to chuck it in, and he's a mechanic, because he actually knew what he was talking about. But they look bloody awesome, and I'll show you guys the blinkers as well, because they look even better. In all honesty, the blinkers look better than the bloody lights, but it just cleans up that whole front bar. So now we're going to get on to working on the other lights, and I'll show you what I got for them. So for anybody asking, the reason why I'm doing these rock lights is just for the simple fact I want to see everything. I'm getting sick and tired of not being able to see around the corners of stuff. Like what I'm planning on doing for these little rock lights, I made myself a little rack. These are literally just shelving units from Bunnings, riveted them together, alloy bar, good to go. And I'm planning on chucking these lights basically right there, just so that you can see all this spread. And I'm pretty sure they're going to look nice and tidy. They're not going to be in the way of the door or anything like that. And that light bar is going to be going in the center underneath that bar, just so that I've got some lights going underneath it, and it'll sort of complete that bar. But I'll tell you in a later episode why I actually made this bar in the first place. This is sort of just a little bit of a bonus thing that I'm doing to it. So let's get started mounting these lights up. Sweet. I'll just show you guys the light bar and what it is. You got your work lights on the side, they're going to blow out heaps of light. And that light bar was a little bit fiddly to get, but I got it in the end. Had to drill some like extra holes in there just so that it wasn't hitting the roof, but it looks bloody mint right now. I'll show you the ones under the tray. So you've got some work lights down there. They're going to look mint. They just attach to the original LED light bar that I had for a reverse light. And I've got one on this side as well, just so that I can see absolutely everything when we're out on the tracks. So now I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to be hooking them up with. And that is this LED wiring harness. I bought this off eBay for 20 bucks. It was on special and it's a heavy duty one.
What the fuck?
It is a little bit overkill for what I'm doing because I'm literally just going to be running the work lights off it. But the one reason why I really like it, it's got a proper rocker switch. And it even says LED work lights.
Watch your profanity.
So that sold me on that one. Pretty cheap and pretty good for 20 bucks, couldn't complain. With the big light bar itself, I've actually already got a harness hooked up to the main high beam. So that's what that one's going to be running off, so that'll be nice and easy. Just hook him right up and ready to rock and roll. Guess there's nothing to do now but actually hooking it up, so let's get to it.
Here we go again. Trying hard but you wanna be my friend. Ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. Here we go again. Call my bluff, I'ma be here till the end. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to.
This heat is getting to me, I swear to God, I'm gonna die this summer. But anyway, all the wires are run. I literally just hooked it up to the battery, to the terminals, just put some zippies on there so they're all good to go. Now, it's the moment of truth. Are they actually gonna turn on? Is my wiring okay? Oh, let's see. Bloody oath, well, there's one. Okay, I really hope this other one works, otherwise I'm gonna get the shits. Oh shit, it works. That is bloody perfect. I guess now I'm gonna just double check that the high beam's working and then we can take her out for a test. Let's see if that high beam is working. Yep, she works and she looks bloody good too. Even the headlights look really good. They just look smick. They sort of complete the car in all honesty. Well, there's nothing else to do now but pack up, wait for nightfall so that we can test these out, see what they look like. See you then. Rightio, so we're just heading out of Dubbo. We're going on the exact same road that we were on before. So this is the second test of the lights, and these are the new lights. Even with low beam on, this is low beam, you would have no idea that this is low beam from before. But it's pretty crazy what the actual difference is. When we get over this hill, I'll show you guys what the high beam looks like with the two headlights and the two light bars. So now we're going to have a crack at high beam. And I'll tell you what, that makes a hell of a difference. You can see absolutely everything. Even with low beam, with other vehicles coming towards us, it makes the biggest difference. And it is so handy to actually see where you're going with other cars coming towards you. It's bloody awesome. So once this car goes past us, we'll put high beams on, and you can just see absolutely everything. You can see all the way over to the side as well. And if you put your camera to the side, Becky, that side, you can actually see out the side with the work lights. So it's just bloody awesome to have those work lights on the side. If you're in a really remote track, being able to actually see a full 180 degrees, it's awesome. Righto, we'll go pull over and we'll show you guys what the work lights look like and get a final opinion. We're just at Old Road, just on the outskirts of Dubbo, and we're going to test out these work lights. So they're the ones that are on the side, even although that with this GoPro you can barely see anything. That'll change in 2 seconds. So that's that same switch, flick that on. Tell you what, it's not too bad. now we'll turn the reverse lights on as well. Tell you what, that's not bad at all. The camera honestly doesn't do it justice, but you can see all behind us and all to the sides of us. But that is bloody awesome. Especially with chucking the high beam on. That light bar just flies by and you can see absolutely everything. I'm really happy how this turned out, especially for a budget build. It's definitely worth the time and effort that you put into it. So you definitely want to do this to your ute. It's a great little mod. It'll last bloody ages. And so with that, I'm extremely happy with how these lights turned out. So if you guys think that this video helped you guys out, hook up your rock lights, made you decide that, yeah, I do want to get a light bar for your ute. It's only a simple mod and you get so many benefits out of it. So I really hope that it did help you guys with what you guys want to know about normal rock lights and stuff like that. And if you guys see in the background, you'll actually see a bit of a teaser for the next episode, but you guys are going to have to wait for that one. But if you guys did enjoy this, hit the like button and subscribe, because honestly, this year I'm going to pull my ass out. I'm going to start pumping out some half decent content, and I'm going to try and do a regular basis of probably once a month, if I can find more stuff to put on my ute, honestly. But anyway, I'll see you guys in 2022. See ya. This is another cut. That was shit. That was terrible. I went bleh. But they seem to work bloody awesomely. Cut, that was weird. And I tell you what, I just hope, I just hope and pray to God.
If I'm not a bush, I'm not no one.